Welcome to the Coach Martin Show. I'm your host, Coach Martin. Super excited to have everybody on today. We are going to talk about putting everything in focus. I have a couple stories actually that kind of, are the main reason why I kind of want to talk about this, but it's super, super important because I think what happens is at least with most people is, we start off, we're probably, you're probably you're an employee, you're working hard, you're doing the things you want to do. And then eventually you get to a point where you're like, hey, I want to either, I want more, or maybe, I want to be my own boss, right? Maybe I'm tired of being told what to do. Or I remember one time I worked at a place where every time you try to get a vacation, it was like pulling teeth, so maybe you're like, I don't ever want to have to deal with that anymore. I want to be able to go on vacation when I want. So I'm going to go on the entrepreneurial journey. So that's how most people get, when they start, or at least that's kind of the thought process behind them. But today I want to talk about, putting it in focus, because I think what happens with a lot of us is we get lost in the grind, right? So what happens is, we go through the route of, becoming our own, business. And when you become your own business, especially at the beginning, you're working a lot and, you got to do everything. You got to wear a whole bunch of hats. And I get it. You got to do all that. But then, we want to make sure that we don't stay in that frame. And I'm going to give you an example. This happened twice. One, I had a good friend that was telling me one time about his dad, and his dad is very, very successful. He's retired now, but during that time, he built a thriving business, made a lot of money. But when I was having this conversation with his son, he was telling me like the entire time his dad was always gone. He was always working. And to me, it was a little bit sad because, he built his business so big where at the very end, he didn't need to do that. And I don't know why. I mean, obviously I haven't had a conversation with him to be like, hey, like what happened? So I don't know what happened, but I think sometimes we get lost. The whole purpose of working, at least the main purpose, or I should say at least one of the main purposes, it allows you and I to be able to buy back time. Understand that time is a limited resource. So here, right, on earth, we only have so much time. That's it. That's what we got. It's a limited resource, but money is an unlimited resource. So the thing is you want to get to the point where you are no longer trading your time for money. And the more money you make in your business, you have the ability to use that money to buy back your time. And so that's what I want you to focus on, right? And don't get lost in the, maybe for that particular dad, it just became a habit where he got used to it and he just did it all the way. Where he should have got to the point where when he really started making money, he could have used that money to buy back his time. So maybe you're thinking, Coach, what does that mean? Well, what it means is maybe if you have, if you're doing A, B, and C, now maybe you can hire someone to do A, B, and C, and now you're not having to spend time doing A, B, and C. You've bought back your time. I'll give you another example. Maybe you live, maybe you're in a big house, you have a giant yard, and, in the backyard, it's all grass, so that way when the grandkids come over, you get to play football and stuff like that. And you mow it. And we're talking, it's a large yard. Maybe, doing right takes you an hour and a half a week. Okay, well, that's 5 hours a month, right? Where if you hire somebody to do that, you're buying back 5 hours a month that you get to own, right? So that's what I want everyone to understand is our goal. Our thing is, we want to buy back time. They give you time to A, spend it with the people that you cherish, and two, do the things that you're passionate about. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, you can spend more time doing that and not being stuck in the minutia of, building your business, right? So it's super important. I want us not to get lost in that and remember again, as we're building our business. Now, maybe you're saying to yourself, well, when you first started, or like I know somebody that's doing a business and they're working a gazillion hours. That's true. That happens. I'm not going to lie to you and say that doesn't happen. Sure, it does happen at first, but then it gets to the point where it flips. When you start making money in your business, you start being able to, bring people in and do the things that you're normally doing right now. So remember that. Remember that's the goal. The goal is to be able to buy back your time because your time is valuable. It's a limited resource. And you and I only have, a short period of time here on earth. The Bible says that our time is, it's like a vapor. It's here today. It's gone tomorrow, like in the blink of an eye. So we want to make sure that we don't forget that. So, hey, listen, be sure to follow us. Be sure to share this with friends. I promise you probably got friends and family that definitely need to hear this. I'm sure you got friends that are business owners that definitely need to hear this, because sometimes we all need a gentle, loving reminder. Until next time, I'm Coach Martin. We're out.